Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Liz and this is my kombucha channel. But today I have a easy body butter recipe that I'm going to share with you. So let's get right into it. The reason I have this funny smile on my face is because I've recorded this twice already. That might not be funny to you. The first time I didn't hit record, and the second time it just shut off because I didn't have any memory. Anyway, let's get right into it. So today we're making a beautiful whipped shea butter, body butter. The recipe is 4 ounces of shea butter, 2 ounces of a carrier oil. I'm using sunflower seed oil, 2 teaspoons of tapioca flour, or you could use arrowroot flour. And then if you want to use a fragrance or an essential oil, we're going to use about 1.5 milliliters. So that's about 15 to 25 drops. There are a few other ingredients you can add, which I'll go over in a second. But first, let's talk about shea butter. So most people have probably heard of shea butter. It's really popular. It's used in all kinds of body lotions and creams, healing creams for eczema or other types of dermatitis. Conditioners, you'll find it in other cosmetic products. So here's some shea butter. Not sure if that's going to focus for you. I think it will. Boom. So shea butter is from the shea nut, which is in the shea fruit that grows on the shea tree in Africa. It's mostly made up of EFAs, which are essential fatty acids. 60% EFAs. EFAs, maybe you're into healthy eating and you know that good fats, healthy fats are good for the body. Think of avocados, olive oil, different nuts and seeds. So EFAs are required by the body and they're used by the body. So we have plenty of these in the shea butter. Shea butter also has vitamin A, E, D, and F. Shea butter is great at retaining moisture into the skin. So this is going to make it look more plump. It's going to help reduce wrinkles, help prevent wrinkles, other fine lines. It also helps balance out the tone, helps with blemishes, and also for inflammation. So if you have a fresh scar, maybe some acne, the shea butter will help tone that down some. The next ingredient I'm using is sunflower oil. You can use any type of carrier oil. Carrier oils are made from cold pressing, so just pressing down on nuts or seed of whatever fruit. I chose sunflower seed oil because it's easy to get, it's inexpensive, it's really light on the skin, and it absorbs really fast. It also has a long shelf life of 2 years. Just a quick note on shelf life. So when you get any products like body butters or carrier oils, the manufacturer, at least in the United States, is required to put a date. And that's really just a guess date. They don't know when it's going to expire. So it's going to be up to you. The best way to tell is to smell it. So most carrier oils have a mild, if any, type of smell, or it might have a mildly nutty smell. If you smell it and it doesn't smell right, or you're questioning it at all, then it's not good. It's oxidized, and you don't want to put that on your skin. Sunflower seed oil is high in vitamin E, has lots of different nutrients, and is great at holding in moisture. Next ingredient is tapioca flour, and there are no health benefits that I know of. But the reason we're going to use tapioca flour is because these two ingredients combined is going to be really oily, which is great if you're running around naked and you're not going to sit on your couch or go anywhere. But most of us have things to do. So we want it to absorb quicker, and we don't want to leave traces of our lotion all over the place. So this is going to absorb some of the oil, but it's also going to make the texture creamier and just all around nicer. Fragrance, I don't use fragrance, but like I said, about 15 to 25 drops, depending on the essential oil. You may want to research those if you are using them. Real quick, vitamin E. So I am adding vitamin E oil. You can also find this in capsules. Vitamin E is great for the skin, has a lot of other benefits as well. But we only need like 1 or 2 drops of this. This vitamin E is called tocopherols. There is a difference. I know that in the natural, like homemade beauty world, there's this misconception that vitamin E capsules can be used as a preservative. So preservative as in meaning keep the oils from oxidizing. And that's not true. So this type of vitamin E, tocopherols, is actually the type of vitamin E that will keep it from oxidizing. And this one, I don't know if you can buy this in a drugstore. I bought this online. You don't have to believe me. I learned all this from a chemist that works for large cosmetic companies. So if you do use the vitamin E tocopherol, when you get something like a carrier oil, such as sunflower seed oil, you can add a few drops in, and that'll help to extend its shelf life. It's also great for if you do herbal infusions, because when you infuse the oil with the herbs, it's gonna like speed up the rate of which it would oxidize. Hopefully that was quick. Let's make sure this recorded. Oh, it did. We're still recording. All right, so an hour later, we're gonna get to making this. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust my camera, and I promise that my nose won't be in the corner of the camera. I'm sorry if you like that. That was one of the things you enjoyed about the video, but I didn't, so my nose will not be in it. And if you're wondering how long it took me to pronounce tocopherols properly, a very long time. So we have our 4 ounces of shea butter, adding in my 2 ounces of sunflower seed oil. We're gonna mix this up first. You can also use a standing mixer. I'm using a hand mixer because most people have hand mixers. Not everyone has a standing mixer. Oh, one more ingredient I forgot to mention. I'm so sorry. Red raspberry seed oil. This oil has the highest natural SPF that's going to prevent from sun damage. It's still pretty low. It's 7 to 11%. I am making some lotion for a friend who has fair skin, so I'm going to include some of this. But this stuff is really nice, and I put this in my homemade moisturizers. I'm going to smush this down some. If it's a colder month, this might be a little bit more difficult, and you could heat up the butter. It's June here, so it's not as hard. All right, let's do this. The longer and faster that you whip this, the fluffier it will get because it's pushing air into it. Looks kind of like a frosting, rich and creamy. I'm gonna push it all down and then add the tapioca. Okay, so here is our finished product. Sorry about the shadow. Rich and creamy. The tapioca powder does make a little bit of a mess. If you wanted to avoid that, just pour it in and mix it up with your hand. But here we go. Here is this beautiful shea body butter. I had to re-record this part because my face was cut off from the nose up and it was driving me nuts. I shouldn't have made that nose joke earlier. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Let me show you what the body butter looks like. Has a resemblance to frosting. It's a body butter, so you can use it all over your body. You can also use this as a night cream. That's how I like to use it. You could use it on your lips to moisturize your lips. It works great for dry and cracked heels. Just, you know, if you touch your feet and then put your hand in the jar, you might not want to. Well, you might just not want to do that at all. Just scoop a little bit out before you apply it to your feet, because the other thing is that this doesn't have a preservative in it, and we don't need that because it's all oils. You need preservatives when you introduce water. So because of that, there are a few precautions. Do not do not scoop any of the body butter out if your hands are wet, because that's going to get water and moisture in there. You could just make sure your hands are clean as well. The other thing you can use it for is your hair. So if your hair is kind of dry, feeling brittle, you can rub some on your hands and then rub it into your hair and let it sit overnight or for a couple hours. Wash it out and your hair will be very thankful. Shelf life. The shelf life is going to depend on your product. So if your shea butter is good for a year and your sunflower oil is good for 2 years, then you can calculate that the body butter will be good for at least a year. But as I talked about earlier, make sure that you're smelling it regularly. You'll know when it's rancid because it stinks. It smells. If you're questioning it, then just get rid of it. That's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up and feel free to leave a comment. If you think that your friends might like it, then please go ahead and share this video with them. Please be on the lookout also for more videos on different homemade body care items, and I'll see you in the next video.